What's good? What's good? Welcome back to Invest and Trade with Jax. Hope you're doing well. Gonna go over our friend Bitcoin. Currently sitting at about 20K, up 1.5 on the day. We're seeing market cap of 381 billion. 24-hour volume, 27.76 billion. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's having an absolutely spectacular weekend. Sign up to Bybit if you'd like to. $4,000 blast off bonus for 13 more days. $25 welcome gift, 29 more days. No fees on spot trading until December 31st. Let's hop into the charts. We're going to start here on the 1 hour time frame. So what I'm looking at, the ABC is much less probable now. Let me see if I can grab that B right in the middle there. Pull it out a little bit. So basically you can ignore that. Of course, it's still a possibility, but the fact that it looks like we've already completed a 5-wave move makes it a lot less likely. So what I'm looking at here is a wave 1 to the downside where we've come down. In a wave 1, we had a wave 2 pullback. This was a 3, 4, and we had an ending diagonal into a 5. And now we're starting to push up in our wave 2 correction. So what you'd be looking for, preferably, is a corrective 3-wave move to the upside. Potentially what we could be looking at is we're starting to put in a potential 5-wave move in a wave A. As a wave A and a wave C can be 5 waves. Wave B is 3 waves, and that's why we've made a 5-wave move in a wave B, so that ABC correction is much less likely. So if we are coming up in a wave A, now we are micro counting here, which can be inaccurate, so we could be looking at some sort of wave 1. Wave 2 may be complete, or we come down to the small yellow box, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. We pull back in a wave B, and then we push up in a wave C to complete the wave 2 pullback. With a target zone in between 20.9K and 22K, in between the 0.5 to 0.786, with a minimum target of 20.5K. Now, please keep in mind that Elliott wave is subjective to the person who is drawing it out. So just take it with a grain of salt. This is what I'm looking at. But we did take a big juicy short up here for about a 10% profit, locked in most of those gains. And I'll be looking to take another trade shortly here. I do give signals in the Discord. As you can see here, we have a bearish divergence. Sorry, guys. We have a bullish divergence creating lower lows while creating higher lows on the 1 hour RSI. So potentially we could see a bounce here. If we look at the 4-hour time frame and we open this up here, you can see we have a little bit of a bottoming tail candle. You can see where the bears tried to push down the price and the bulls pushed it right back up. Probably a little bit of a liquidity grab as well. Can also be seen as a bottoming tail candle, and now we're starting to push up. So this may be where we see continuation up into the zone in between 20.9 and 22K, with a minimum target of about 20.59 for a potential wave 2 pullback, and then look to see continuation to the downside in a wave 3. I am bearish. I do think we are going to continue to come down here, and that we are coming down in a wave 5. As I've been mentioning for months now, I do not think this is the bottom. To me, it looks like we're going through a wave 4 pullback. We're going through a WXY. A lot of people are calling for the bottom right here. Personally, I don't think that's the probable scenario, and then we're coming down for a wave 5 in between 11 and 13K. But a wave 5 can end anywhere below the wave 3, so we could end anywhere after we break about 17.6K for our friend Bitcoin. But your next major demand zone is down in between 11.11 and 13K, as I've been showing you guys in many of the videos. Now, there is one bullish wave count, which I think is highly unlikely, that we've had a leading diagonal into a wave 1. This is a wave 2 pullback, and now you're starting to come up in a 1, 2. We come up, we break this high, we push up in a 3, we see a 4, we see a 5 to complete the wave 3 to the upside. Unlikely in my opinion, but anything is possible, but it's not the more probable scenario for BTC. We were watching this bear flag. As I mentioned, I don't like trading patterns. So you can see here we broke down, so you could look at this as some sort of retest of the bear flag before seeing continuation. But as I mentioned, I am looking for that wave 2 retracement. So if we continue to push up, then basically you're having a throwback up into the pattern, and that's exactly why I don't like patterns and I don't trade them. but sometimes I do use them as confluence. All right, guys, if we look at the DXY, a little bit of a bull flag, bullish consolidation. So if we continue to push up, your target is up here at about 112, which we'll see the price of Bitcoin continue to fall. As I mentioned on the daily for the DXY, we do have a bearish divergence to keep an eye on. I do think we will push higher, but eventually this bearish divergence will play out, and that might be a stronger signal of the bottom being in for BTC. Even on the weekly chart, we have a bearish divergence. You can see right here, we're creating higher highs, we're creating lower highs. If we look at the last time we had a bearish divergence on the weekly for the DXY, we had one right here. So you can see we had a bearish divergence. It was followed by a large drop. Let's look at the last pump. Here's a really good example, guys. So here's the DXY. We're continuing to push higher while continuing to create lower highs on the DXY. And eventually we saw a massive drop, which of course led to a massive pump in a bull market for Bitcoin. So as you can see here, the first peak of this bearish divergence was in May, and the last peak before the drop here was in February of the next year. So this weekly bearish divergence took almost a year to play out. So that's how long they can take to play out on the weekly time frame. Sometimes they end sooner, sometimes they end later, but they can take time. So just be patient, guys. I do think we're going to continue to push higher in the DXY. Well, Bitcoin comes down to 11 to 13K, and then we'll see the big fall, and once again be in a very exciting bull market for Bitcoin. I know this price action is really boring, where we just come down, we consolidate for a week, 2 weeks, and then we come down a little bit more, we consolidate for another week, 2 weeks. But that's just how it is in the bear market. It requires patience. I would recommend living your life focusing on other things and not staring at charts all day if you're not scalping, as the price action can be quite slow. So that's what I'm looking at, a wave 2 pullback in between 20.9 and 22K with a minimum target of 20.5K. If we just continue to drop here, then we'll look at an alternative wave count. There is an alternative bearish wave count that I was looking at, but I think there's a high likelihood of us seeing corrective bounce to the upside before seeing continuation down. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Big shout out to the Discord. Over 2,000 members posting chart patterns, talking all things crypto. At the $10 membership, you can get my exact entries. We just locked in some profits on a Bitcoin short positions. Entries, exits, take profits and stop losses, as well as I post my analysis in here. And we have over 2,000 members posting chart patterns, posting trades, posting all types of goodies. It's only $10 a month. You really can't beat it. Make sure to check out Bybit. Check out my full length tutorial. You can follow me on IG if you like to. I'm getting into photography and videography over there. And I'll see you in the next video. All right, much love. Take care.